Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. Whenever you might be listening to this is the BuzzPucks Podcast.
Podcast.
I'm Bert,
I'm Clay.
and we're here for our second episode of the week to go over the games of the week for this, what did I say it
Yes.
was? Week 22 of the NHL season, which happens to also
Woo,
be the
woo,
trade
woo.
deadline week. We did want to put this into one episode, but we ended up talking about trades for a lot longer than I think either of us thought we were going to. So here we are.
Yeah, I
This
totally.
this episode is just the games of the week. If you want to hear whatever we had to say about the
The
trade deadline,
news, the injuries, the
the news and
trades.
the injuries, all of that jazz, go listen to the other episode. And if you listen to
What are
both,
you drinking, Bert?
hey, hold on. If you listen to one or both, we appreciate it. We love you. Thank you so much. I am drinking the same thing I was drinking for the trade deadline episode, the Paul Lanner Hefeweizen. I explained why I bought the spirits from Germany. Go listen to the other episode if you want.
I Same thing. I am drinking the 1911 established red sangria, 6.9%. Didn't say that last time.
Ooh, that's high for a cider. Good lord.
Not 1911.
No? Are theirs usually that high?
1911 is normally like 6.8.
Is it
Like
really? Oh shit! I need to buy
their
that more.
base cider. Yeah, they're
That's a
dangerous
strong ass
ciders.
cider. Yeah. I will say
Mm-hmm.
this Paul Lanner I think is only this Hefeweizen's only 5.5. But after that first episode, I gotta tell you, apparently my dinner wasn't enough. I'm feeling this shit. So we'll see how
I haven't had
slurry
dinner,
we
so yeah,
get
I'm
through
feeling it.
the second episode here. All right. Well, we're just going through the games of the week on this one, so this should be theoretically a shorter episode. But you know us, we
We
talk.
know that won't be the
We
case.
know that won't be the case. I'll start us off. Let's go through the Central Division, shall we? Starting with the Chicago Blackhawks, 0-1-2 this week, so they did eke out 2 points. They lost to Winnipeg 3-2 in overtime. Connor Bedard 2 assists in this game. Spencer Knight did his best, 29 of 32. They got outshot 19-32 in this game. They lost outright to Vancouver 6-3 in regulation.
Yeah,
Nazar and Mikheyev both had
painful.
a goal and an assist. Soderblom 16 of 20 in this one. Honestly, I mean Chicago's bottomed out pretty hard this season, but I would still
Oh,
say a
painful.
shameful loss to Vancouver.
They're
Um,
10 points up on Vancouver.
Vancouver is by far, I believe, the worst team this season, right?
Absolutely.
They want McKenna so bad, right? They want him so bad. That'd be hometown BC
They,
boy. And then they ended the week by losing to Dallas in overtime 4-3. Got outshot in this game 31-19.
at
Teravainen,
least it was overtime.
at least it was overtime. Teravainen and Nazar each had 2 assists. Soderblom 27 of 31. Nazar's their top player, goal and 4 assists on the week. So, well, man showed up when
Good job,
not a lot
Frankie.
of not a lot of his other teammates did. They're 1 for 7 on the power play, 7 for 9 on the penalty kill. Oh, Clay, I definitely have the worst penalty kill this week. I cannot wait for us to
You
get to it.
absolutely do.
Oh my God, there's one that's I think it's the worst one of any week that we had so far. I'm telling you right now. I cannot wait to get to it. So
Is it worse than the 30% that we had at one point?
yes, it is. It is
Oh
less
my
than that.
god.
Uh, Chicago is 29, 23, 29, and 11, 57 points. They have bottomed out into eighth place in the Central Division. Not mathematically eliminated yet. Nobody is technically mathematically eliminated yet, except for Vancouver being eliminated from the President's Trophy contention. But
With their loss against Dallas last week.
yes, but they could still
They were.
technically make the playoffs if I think they won every game that they played
Oh, no, their loss against Dallas this week.
this week. Yeah.
Yes.
Colorado is up next, and Colorado went 4-0 this week because of course they did. Beat LA
Of course
four
they
to
did.
two, outshot LA 39-21. Nachos and Landeskog both had a goal and 2 assists. McKinnon a goal and an assist for him, and Blackwood was 19 of 21. They beat Anaheim 5-1. Makar a goal and 2 assists. Kelly 2 goals. Nelson and Drury each had 2 assists, and Scott Wedgwood was 27 of 28. They beat Dallas in a shootout 5-4. Nachos, a goal and 3 assists in this game, and the only
Wow.
shootout goal. McKinnon, a goal and 2 assists. Makar, a goal and an assist. And both goalies played in this game and were 17 of 21. I believe, I don't remember which one it was, but one of them gave up all 4 goals while the other one played the rest of the game.
Gotcha. That makes
Um,
sense.
and then they beat Minnesota in a shootout 3-2. Waugh and McKinnon had the goals. Wedgwood 32 of 34, and Nichushkin and McKinnon scored the shootout goals. So that's both of their top competitors they beat in shootouts this week for Colorado.
Yep.
Nachos, they're one of their top players, 3 goals and 5 assists this week, while Wedgwood was their other top player, 69 of 72, good for a 9.58 save percentage and a 1.09 goals against. Dallas, not to be outdone, went 3-0-1 this week, beating Vancouver 6-1. That's the loss we were just talking about. Outshot Vancouver 37-14. Yikes,
Yeah.
Vancouver. They had 6 different players have 2 points, while Ottinger only had to go 13-14 for the win.
Yep.
They
That's
then
it.
followed that up by beating Calgary also by a score of 6-1, where Duchesne had 4 assists, Sam Steele 2 goals and an assist himself, and 3 other players had 2 points, while DeSmith was 20-21. Lost to Colorado in a shootout, like I just said. 5 different players on Dallas had 2 points in this game. So that's 2 games in a row, or 2 games this week, that they had 5 or more players have 2 points in.
Um,
Ottinger 25-29 in that one.
and for good for Dallas, bad for Colorado. There's no overtime or there's no shootouts in the
There's no
playoffs.
shootouts in the playoffs. No 3-on-3 in the playoffs either. 5-on-5 the whole way, baby. Other than power
Yeah,
plays.
well, I mean, that's good. That is good for Colorado.
I will say, power plays and penalty kills not good for Colorado. That's their weakness is
No,
special teams.
but their 3-on-3 is also bad, which again we saw in the
True.
Olympics.
True.
Um,
That's a good point. Yes, it was 2/3 of the losing line was Colorado players. So Dallas
and
then.
again,
Go ahead. Sorry.
not going to beat a dead horse is the last I'm going to say. 3-on-3 actually favored Canada
Well,
with their
too
players.
bad, I guess.
Too bad. So I'm just saying for the people crying about it's not real hockey. Now I'm done.
I will say, as long as the Penguins actually make the playoffs, thank God there's no 3-on-3 or shootouts in the playoffs. Because the Penguins would
Ooh,
swept.
yeah, you guys
They're
need it.
so bad in overtime and shootouts for some fucking reason. Anyway, we'll get to the Penguins
You're
later.
specifically bad at shootouts.
1-9 this year. 1-9.
Philadelphia's 8-0.
Yeah, well, they're not going to make the playoffs, so suck it. Dallas finished their week. We're not even talking about the Metropolitan Division. Dallas finished their week by beating Chicago 4-3 in overtime. Maverick Bourque had a goal and an assist. Heiskanen, the overtime game winner. And Casey DeSmith was 16 of 19 in that win. Matt Duchesne, a goal and 6 assists for their top point getter. But I want to shout out Maverick Bourque and Jason Robertson. Each had 6 points. I think that's the first time Maverick Bourque has been mentioned as the top player for Dallas this year. Good for him. I believe
right.
Ray Bourque's son. I think he's Ray Bourque's son.
Sure.
But anyway,
I wouldn't doubt it.
Great week for Maverick Bourque. Minnesota is up next, and not to be outdone by the 2 teams ahead of them. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't do any of the stats for my teams. I think I did. I did Chicago. Colorado was 4 for 14 on the power play with a shorthanded goal against. 9 for 12 on the penalty kill. 43, 10, and 9 is Colorado. 95 points. First place in the division. First place in the entire league. Dallas was 4 for 14 on the power play. 9 for 11 on the penalty kill. Very similar. Actually, 4 for 14 for both of them. 39, 14, and 10, 88 points, second place in the division. So sorry, I skipped over
Gotcha.
those.
Not related to Ray at all.
Oh, no? Oh, okay. My bad.
No.
I thought he was. I
or
must have.
Rene Bork.
He's not related to Rene Bork. Is Rene Bork Ray Bork's son? Just no, no.
I don't know.
Okay, don't worry about it. It's not. So my bad. I thought I read that somewhere. I was wrong. Minnesota went 2-0-1 this week. They beat Tampa Bay 5-1. Matthew Boldy 3 assists. Zuccarello Faber and Quinn Hughes all had a goal and an assist, while Gustafson was 24 of 25.
The
Yes.
answer's no.
Okay.
No.
So I guess I just made that up.
That's it.
Sorry,
Well,
I do that.
Bork,
I
Bork,
said
Bork.
I said Bork Bork Bork. You're right. Minnesota beat Vegas 4-2. McCarron a goal and an assist in this game in, I'm guessing, his first game in Minnesota after being traded from Nashville. Go listen to the previous episode. Gustafson 29 of 31 in that game, and then losing Colorado in a shootout 3-2. Sturm and Kaprizov had the regulation goals for Minnesota, while Wallstead was 34 of 36. Gustafson, their top player, 53 of 56, 9.46 save percentage, 1.5 goals against, 2 for 10 on the power play, 8 for 9 on the penalty kill with a shorthanded goal 4, 37, 16, and 11, 85 points, third place in the division. Minnesota slipped a little bit from being like neck and neck with Dallas.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's going to be Dallas versus Minnesota in that first round, seemingly, unless unless somebody
is.
crashes and burns between those two or Colorado, which I doubt it at this point. That's going to be a hell of a first round, and unfortunately, one of the better teams in the league is going to go out in the first round in that series. It's just going to happen.
This is one of the few times where, with how weak the Pacific is, this is one of the few times where I will agree that, like, hey, maybe we should do 1 through 8.
Yeah, I understand people's. I think we talked about this last week or the week before. I understand people's desire to go back to 1v8, the playoff standings, because you get matchups that you wouldn't normally see in the playoffs, right? You could get like a Dallas versus Edmonton or something like that, something along those lines in the first round. But just the vitriol and the hatred that this first round between the second and third ranked teams in each division makes, that hatred,
Mm-hmm.
that's hockey, right? We'll get to a game a little bit later between I'm just gonna say between Buffalo and Tampa Bay. I need that playoff series because, good Lord, if that was a preview for that playoff series, I need it, right?
But here's the thing. The way the standings is looking right now, it's an impossible playoff series.
It's an impossible
It's an
playoff
impossible
series, yeah.
first round. It's an
Second
impossible
round.
first round playoff.
Second round would be fine with
knows?
me. I just need that series, man. That game was so good. All right, Nashville, slowly but surely falling out of the playoff contention. Went 1-3 this week, losing to Detroit 4-2. Go ahead.
Here's the thing. No, they're not.
No, I mean they're
With
still.
the wild card right now.
You're
No,
right.
They're not.
Yeah, they're not that far back. Okay, Nashville, bad week.
They're only 3 points out.
All right, I take back what I said. We'll look at the standings. We'll go through the wild card standings at the very end of the episode too. They went 1-3, losing to Detroit 4-2. Forsberg, Marchessault had the goals, while Saros was 27 of 30. Lost to Columbus 3-2. Forsberg and O'Reilly had the goals in that game. Noonan 24 of 27. And don't worry, Nashville fans, if you didn't listen to the first episode, Ryan O'Reilly did not get traded. They did beat Boston 6-3, which seems like an outlier of a score in this week. Forsberg had a goal in 2.
Man.
I don't know. Boston, I'm like, sometimes
Boston's
they look
weird.
really
I
good,
don't
and sometimes
trust
they
them.
don't
I
look
don't-
that good. I don't think Boston. If Boston makes the playoffs, I don't think they're going to get out of the first round. Is kind of my feeling.
I don't.
I just don't trust their center depth. You know what I mean?
Right.
Well, we'll talk about Boston in a little bit. For Nashville, Forsberg, goal and 2 assists. Miles Wood, I believe it is, had 2 goals. Stamkos, 2 assists. Saros 20 of 23, and then they lost at Buffalo. But let's be real, everybody's losing to Buffalo, 3-2. Wood and LaRue scored the goals in this game for Nashville, while Saros was 21 of 24. Forsberg's their top player, 3 goals, 2 assists. 4 for 13 on the power play with 2 shorthanded goals against. Stinky, but not the only team that did that this week. 11 for 12 on the penalty kill. Huh? Yes, exactly. Buffalo is the team that's doing that to everybody this week. 11 for 12 on the penalty kill with a shorthanded goal for 28, 27, and 8. 64 points, 5th place in the division. St. Louis. You know, St. Louis, if you're looking at St. Louis, you think, man, they're probably tanking for a high draft pick, right? Nope, they went 3-0 this week. They beat Seattle 3-2. Braden Shen, before he got traded, had 3 assists in this game. Robert Thomas, a goal and an assist, while Hoffer was 34 of 36. Beat San Jose in overtime 3-2. Holloway had 3 assists. Robert Thomas had 2 goals, including the overtime game winner. Snuggerud had a goal and an assist. Love that name. Binnington, 23.
Not love that game.
I would never not love that name, Snuggerud. That's a great name.
Yeah.
Binnington, 23 of 25. And then they shut out Anaheim 4-0. Snuggerud, a goal and an assist in that game, while Hoffer made 22 saves for the shutout. Thomas and Hoffer are their co-top players. Thomas, 3 goals and 2 assists. Hoffer, 56 of 58 on the week. Good for a .966 save percentage, 1.00 goals against, and a shutout. Utah is up next, and they went 3-0 as well. They beat Washington 3-2. Genther, a goal and an assist. Keller, 2 assists. Vejmelka, 23 of 25. Shutout Philadelphia 3-0. Schmaltz, a goal and an assist. Genther, 2 assists. Vanacek, 16. Only had to make 16 saves for this shutout. And then they beat Columbus in overtime 5-4. Logan Cooley, 2 goals in this game, including the overtime game winner. 3 other players had 2 points. And Karel Vejmelka was 27 of 31. Genther is their top player. 2 goals, 3 assists. 3 for 7 on the power play. 4 for 6 on the penalty kill. 34, 25, and 4 is Utah. 72 points. 4th place in the division. I did not do St. Louis's stats, but go ahead, Clay. Clay has his hand up.
Karel Vejmelka is the first goalie to reach 30 wins this season.
Which is crazy, honestly, because I feel like he's not getting mentioned that much, right? He's having a great season for Utah.
He's having a great year, but unfortunately, Sorokin's having...
Sorokin, we have said this for weeks, he has to get the Vezina this year. He has to. There's just nobody that deserves it more than him.
There's no one close to him.
Just with that goals above expected, right? That statistic, if you go and look it up, it's Sorokin at the top by like 20 above whoever is in second place. It doesn't even matter who's in second place. He's like 20 plus above them. That's insane. Now, is that going to work in the playoffs? I don't know. Maybe you win a series. Maybe you can beat Pittsburgh with those numbers. Can you beat Carolina with those numbers? Maybe. I don't think so. Maybe though. I don't know. Is he the new Halak? Right? Is he gonna Halak teams in the playoffs?
Okay. So Ilya Sorokin, number 1, goal save above expected, is 28.1.
Yep.
Number 2, Logan Thompson, goal save above expected, is 24.4.
Oh, okay. So that gap has closed. Let's
get it real quick. Stop it.
You stop it.
Oh no.
Clay's yelling at his computer.
I was clicking buttons. For these same players, goals save above expected per 60 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
You're looking at Ilya Sorokin with a 7.24%.
Okay.
And then you're with Logan Thompson at a 5.76.
Okay. So that gap has closed. That gap has definitely closed. But shout out Logan Thompson having a great year as well for Washington.
but the per 60 is
It's two more.
Sorokin is point .2 above him. Yeah,
Yeah,
like
yeah. So that is a pretty look. Sorokin deserves the Vesna. Thompson deserves to be second, I guess, second or
number
third,
2.
maybe. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you had it like Vimelka's got to be up there too. But who's gonna get screwed out of being in that top three? Probably Vimelka, right?
Vmelka's
Maybe
only
Thompson.
10.
Honestly, it might be Thompson just because Washington is not in as good of a spot as those other two teams, right? And that's not
Vmelka is only
Thompson's
10
fault.
point. Vmelka's only 11 goals saved above the expected.
Hmm, that's low. That's lower.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, we'll see how it shakes out.
In 49 games played, he's got more
Sorokin,
games played than
Sorokin should win
both
it.
teams.
Sorokin should win it.
It
So
absolutely, because Vmelka has 10 more games played over Sorokin.
wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's a lot. Let's roll back real quick to St. Louis. They went 1 for 7 on the power play, 11 for 11 on the penalty kill. 25, 29, and 9 are St. Louis. So even a 3-0 week's not really helping them that much. 59 points, 7th place in the division. And finally, Winnipeg also went 3-0 this week. So 3 straight teams went 3-0. They beat Chicago 3-2 in overtime. Scheifele, the overtime game winner, and 2 assists. Sandberg, a goal and an assist. Hellebuck, 17 of 19 in that game. They beat Tampa Bay 4-1. 4 different players had 2 points. Hellebuck, 26 of 27. And then they beat Vancouver in overtime 3-2. Scheifele, a goal and 2 assists. Morrissey, that was his first game back since being injured at the Olympics, had the overtime game winner and an assist. And Hellebuck was 21 of 23 in that game. Scheifele and Hellebuck are your top players.
Wow.
3 goals and 5 assists for Scheifele. Hellebuck, 64 of 69, good for a .928 save percentage, 1.65 goals against. And that's the Central.
Gotcha.
Who you got?
I was looking at Money Puck for those statistics, just letting everyone know. We're gonna stay in the West and talk about the Pacific. Anaheim is up first. They went 2-2 this week. They started with a 1-5 loss against Colorado, like you said. They beat the Islanders 5-1. Billy Husso in net, Cutter Gauthier 2 goals and assists. They were outshot by the Islanders 43-26. Then they beat Montreal 6-5 in a shootout with a wild swing in this game in the third period. Ducks had the lead. Montreal takes the lead, and then the Ducks have to come back with an empty net goal late from Chris Kreider to send it to overtime, eventual win in the shootout. Chris Kreider did have a 4-point night, a goal and 3 assists in that game. And then they lose to St. Louis, like you said, 4-0.
Kind of a bummer of a game for
Not
Anaheim.
much to say about that game.
Yeah.
Their power play this week was 2 for 16. Their penalty kill was 10 for 14. Cutter Gauthier is their top player with 4 goals and 1 assist this week. They are 35, 25, and 3. They have 73 points. They are first in the division right now.
Nice. Good for Anaheim.
Absolutely. Next up is Calgary. Calgary went 1-2 this week. The 1-6 loss against Dallas, like you said. Wolf started it. He did not finish it. Other than that, nothing really to talk about.
Yeah.
Then a 1-4 loss against Ottawa. Cooley in net, 1 shorthanded goal against. They were outshot by Ottawa 37-20. And then the 5-4 win against Carolina with Joel Farabee having 2 goals and 1 assist. They were 1 for 9 on the power play with shorthanded goal against this week, and then 8 for 11 on the penalty kill this week. Morgan Frost is their top player with 2 goals and 2 assists, and Calgary is 25, 30, and 7. That is 57 points. It's tied with the Blackhawks. That's 7th in the division.
Yeah. Yeah.
Moving on to Edmonton. Edmonton is 2-1 this week. The 5-4 overtime win against Ottawa. This was a crazy game as well, with Ottawa blowing a. Oh, give me a second. Ottawa blowing a lead. Ingram and net for Edmonton. Draisaitl had a 5-point night.
Damn. Damn, Draisaitl.
2 goals, 3 assists. Okay. Ottawa was up 4-2 going into the third period. Then Edmonton comes back in the third period, scoring with a minute and a half left to tie the game, and then Bouchard on the power play to win the game with a dumb. I was gonna say a dumb penalty by Brady Tkachuk, but the penalty was tackling McDavid to stop a breakaway. So
that's one of those. It's like, yeah, you just take that penalty. You
he just
stop the
tackled him from
breakaway.
behind.
Yeah, you're just trying to stop the breakaway. I kind of get taking that penalty.
Yeah, but then they couldn't kill it, so Edmonton gets the win. And then they lose to Carolina 3-6. Zach Hyman does have two goals in this game, and they were outshot by Carolina 32-16. They did. Forgot to say they outshot Ottawa 37-21. And they finished the week by beating Vegas 4-2. They were 3 for 7 on the power play with a shorthanded goal against this week, and then 7 for 8 on the penalty kill this week. Draisaitl is their top player with 3 goals and 4 assists in those 3 games. And I believe after 2 periods, he was held to 0 shots in the Vegas game. I just don't know what happened that third period because I went to bed.
Well, yeah, that's understandable. I feel like us on the East Coast, it's hard to stay up for those West Coast games.
Edmonton is 31-25-8, 70 points. That is third in the division. Next up is Los Angeles. They went 1-2 this week. They lose to Colorado 2-4, like you said, outshot 39-21. They beat the Islanders 5-3. Panarin a goal and an assist in this game, but they did get up a shorthanded goal. And then they lose to Montreal 3-4, outshooting Montreal 39-23. They were 2 for 7 on the power play this week with a shorthanded goal against, and then 3 for 5 on the penalty kill.
It's not great. Yeah.
It's a bad penalty kill. Yeah.
Oh, baby, I can't wait to say
You have one that's worse.
I can't wait to tell you the one that's the worst one this week.
Brant Clark is their top player, 1 goal and 4 assists, and maybe they should have been playing him more.
Nah, that's stupid. They should trade him to the Penguins.
They are 25, 23, and 14. They have 64 points. Sorry, they played today, and it already updated.
Oh, yeah.
They have 64 points, 6th place in the division.
Yikes.
They don't have a wild card spot.
No.
San Jose went 1-0-2 this week. A thrilling 7-5 win against Montreal. Askarov and net. Celebrini a 4-point night, 1 goal and 3 assists. The overtime loss to St. Louis 2-3, outshooting St. Louis 25-14, like you said. And then the overtime loss to the New York Islanders 2-1 in that game. Askarov a 9.41 save percentage. This week, San Jose is 2 for 8 on the power play, 8 for 10 on the penalty kill. Celebrini is, of course, their top player with 3 goals and 3 assists.
Yes, sir.
San Jose is 30, 25, and 6. That is 66 points. That is 1 point out of a wild card spot.
Come on, San Jose. I need this year to be San Jose, Anaheim, Buffalo make the playoffs. Yeah, but they could still make the playoffs and lose in the first round with that.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. Your defense is bad. You're not making a push.
No. Maybe if that Dougie Hamilton trade had
Um,
actually happened that we were like hearing
mm,
about,
you're not making a point.
I don't think that would have I don't think that would have made that much of a difference really, but
Moving on to Seattle, who went 1-2 this week. They beat Carolina 2-1. They were outshot by Carolina 36-15.
pretty crazy shot disparity
Joey
for a win.
Decord. Joey Decord a 972 save percentage
My
in
man
this win.
Decord.
Then they lose to Joey OK.
Joey okay.
For those who don't know, Decord is French Canadian for OK. The 3-2 loss against St. Louis. Grubauer and net. Vince Dunn a goal and an assist, and then a 4-7 loss against Ottawa, where they were outshot by Ottawa 36-21. This week, Seattle was 1 for 12 on the power play, and then 5 for 5 on the penalty kill. Oof, that's a bad power play.
Yeah. What was it again? One more time. 1 for 12. You said.
1 for 12.
Yeah, that's
yes.
pretty bad. That's pretty bad.
At
least they got one.
We're gonna finish, or yeah, at least they got one.
At least they got one.
Seattle's record for the season is 29, 24, and 9, 67 points. That is currently your wild card 2.
All right.
And then we're gonna finish up with Vancouver, who went 1-2-1 this week.
Stinky.
They lose. Yep. Well, they're a stinky team. They actually won a game though.
True.
They. Sorry. They lose to Dallas 1-6. Then they.
Mm-hmm.
You said the shot discrepancy there, 37-14.
Yes, it was pretty bad.
Got to be said again.
23 shot difference is it's pretty crazy.
23 shot difference. Yeah. The 4-6 loss against Carolina. Hronek did have 3 points, a goal and 2 assists. They were outshot 33-22 in this one. Lankinen started. He did not finish this game. Then the 6-3 win against Chicago. Brock Boeser did have 2 goals in this game. And then the 2-3 overtime loss against Winnipeg. Leo Carlsson. Nope. Yes. No. Linus Carlsson.
I agreed with you too. I was like, yeah, Leo Carlsson. No, that's on Anaheim. No. Linus Carlsson. Yep. Yeah.
Linus Carlsson, a goal and assist in this game, and they were outshot by Winnipeg 35-23.
Whew. Jesus.
Yeah. Goalies getting shelled. They were 3 for 10 on the power play this week.
Okay, that's good. That's it. Hey, take your wins. Take your wins, Vancouver.
Yeah,
that's a pretty good power play.
6 for 10 on the penalty kill.
That's not that brings it back down. But again,
way back down.
I'm telling you right now, the worst power play I have, 20% on the week.
Penalty kill, you mean?
Penalty kill. That's what I meant. 20%.
Here's the thing. I keep talking about Seattle's bad power play. They're sitting at 19%.
That's okay. That's not that bad. That just means there's like way worse power plays in the league this year.
Yeah. And net is 17. Or, 17th place. But
that's better, yeah.
Yeah. So, no,
I think it's just noticeable when it's really bad. Like they have really bad weeks, right?
Yeah.
But then the other weeks it's probably like, fine, right? But those real bad weeks just bring it down. 19th isn't that bad. That's Pacific, right?
Yeah, it's Pacific. Oh, because we talked about West, and I know we're going to talk about the wild card standings. Why don't we just do the West wild card standings right now?
That sounds fine. You want to take us through it? I'll take us through the East.
Yeah. So right now, because I was also want to talk about the 1v8 for the playoffs. Right now, your Western Conference 1, 2, 3 is Colorado, Dallas, Minnesota.
Yep.
So Dallas, Minnesota are guaranteed to play each other. Now the Pacific gets crazy because everyone's so tight. 1, 2, 3 is Anaheim, Vegas, Edmonton, with 3 points separating the two.
Yeah, the 3. But yes.
Or the 3. Thank you. Then you have your wild card. Wild card 1 is Utah Mammoth with 72 points, and then wild card 2 is the Seattle Kraken with 67 points. San Jose is 1 game back with 1 game in hand, and 1 point back with 1 game in hand. And LA is 1 point back, but San Jose has 2 games in hand on LA.
Sure. Well, 1 point back as of today in the games that happened today.
Yes, you were correct. I had forgotten about the games that have happened today.
But they're not in great position, as you said. Even being 1 point back, Seattle has 2 games in hand on them. San Jose has
2 games in hand.
San Jose has 2 games in hand. Seattle has 1 game in hand on them, so LA's not in a great position at the moment.
It's not looking good.
No.
Nashville could be in there. They're only 3 points back. Everyone has games in hand on them, though.
Yeah.
And I think Winnipeg's kind of out of it. Anything like
Winnipeg? I mean, Winnipeg's only 5 points back. There's a chance.
5 points.
There's a chance Winnipeg could get back in
there's
it. There's
a chance, but there's only 20 games.
Yeah, they only have 20 games left. There's a chance for Winnipeg. There's a chance. So let's not count them out yet.
I'm not counting it out completely, but it's harder for them.
They need to win a bunch of games, and they need help in front of them.
It's hard for Nashville. It's hard for Winnipeg.
I think it's going to be hard for LA, too. I think at the moment, anyway, now Seattle and San Jose could both crash and burn. But right now, Seattle and San Jose are the ones that are fighting for that last spot.
Fight.
Yeah. Because both those teams have games in hand, like you said, on LA and even Nashville, and that they're a solid chunk ahead of Winnipeg at this point. So it'll be interesting. 20 games is not nothing. These standings could change by next week, but that last wild card spot's going to be the fight, I think. Utah has been entrenched.
Only has 18.
Oh, you're right.
Games left.
Utah has been entrenched in wild card 1 for more than half the season at this point.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: there's no way they're catching Minnesota. They're 13 points back from Minnesota, so Utah has to have that last wild card spot.
So, talking 1v8. So the way the setup would be currently, Colorado plays Seattle, Anaheim plays Utah. The 1v8 is Colorado plays Seattle.
Yep, same thing.
Dallas plays Utah.
Well, the thing is,
Minnesota.
The thing is, even in the 1v8, the top 2 seeds would still be the division winners, because that's how it was.
Then it's not 1v8. Then why?
I understand, but that's how it was back in the day too. That's what people don't remember. It was because there used to be 3 divisions per conference, and the top 3 teams were the division winners. So even if that second and third team had worse records than the 4th team, if that 4th team is behind number 1, they're still 4th. That's what people don't remember.
Then the only thing that changed is that Dallas plays Edmonton and Minnesota plays Vegas. Like,
that would be the only thing that would
still
change.
Plays Utah, and Colorado still plays St. Louis. Like,
well, no, actually, no. No, what it would change is Anaheim would play Edmonton, Vegas would play Dallas, and Utah would play Minnesota. That's what the change would be.
Why would Anaheim play?
Because Anaheim, in this scenario, if it's still the way that old 1v8 would be, Anaheim would be second because they would be the division winner.
Yes. And Edmonton has less points than Utah. I wasn't paying attention.
Yes.
That's on my phone.
Anaheim would bump up to second. That's what's confusing about it. That's what people don't fucking remember, is that was the rule. That was always the rule for the 1v8, was it wasn't straight 1 through 8 in the conference.
1v8.
It was the 2 division winners at the top in this scenario. It used to be 3, is 1 and 2, and then everybody else.
So, like, what's the complaint?
it wouldn't be that different because
It
you
wouldn't
would
be that
have
different.
you would have Seattle and Colorado, exact same scenario as you would have right now.
Yep.
Anaheim and Edmonton, sure. That well, actually, hold on. Yeah, excuse me. Anaheim and Edmonton.
Yep.
It would be Dallas and Vegas, and then Utah and Minnesota. So yes, it would change
Yep.
the matchups, but like not
It's
that drastically, right?
right. And yeah, you're talking a better team. Like, yeah, the better team plays the worst team in the sense of Dallas, Minnesota. But like,
Yeah.
Dallas would play. You said Dallas would play Utah.
Da- uh, Hold on, I gotta go back
In
to
the
it.
1v8 scenario. In
I
the
gotta look at it
1v8
again.
scenario, yeah,
Dallas would play Vegas, and Minnesota would
Dallas
play
would.
Utah.
It's
So
still an interconference one. Like,
yeah, I mean that would be a better chance for both Dallas and Minnesota to move to the second round, right?
yes, but Vegas can always become Vegas at any
Yeah,
point.
Vegas
Like,
could still potentially beat Dallas in that scenario.
yeah,
And
because
then
they've
You don't
had in
know
the past.
Utah might be able to pull
Who
off
knows?
something
It
against
doesn't.
Minnesota too. So like I don't know. I understand where
To
people are coming
be the
from,
best, you
but
gotta beat the best.
you're right. To be the man, you got to
That's
beat the
it.
man. Shout out Ric Flair, terrible human being. Great catchphrase though.
Exactly what we said last week.
That is exactly what we said last week. All right, let's move to the Metropolitan Division. Keep things going, shall we? Starting with the
Yes.
Carolina Hurricanes, they went 2-2 this week. They lost to Seattle, as you just mentioned, 2-1. I think they were in Western Canada and the Pacific Northwest this week. Losing to Seattle 2-1, outshot them 36-15. I know you said that. Ehlers had the only goal in that game for Carolina, while Anderson was 13-15. Beating Vancouver 6-4. Ehlers had a hat trick in this game, while 4 other players had 2 points. And Brendan Bussey was 18-22. Beat Edmonton, as you just said, 6-3. Outshot Edmonton 32-16. Keandre Miller had 3 assists in this game, while Blake and Ehlers both had 2 points. And Anderson was 13-16. And then losing to Calgary, shameful. Shameful for Carolina. Losing to Calgary 5-4. Aho 3 assists in this game. Jarvis a goal and 2 assists. And Svechnikov a goal and an assist, while Bussey was 20-25. Rare bad game for Bussey this season.
Yeah.
Nick Ehlers is your top player, 5 goals and an assist on the week. They were 3 for 9 on the power play, 8 for 12 on the penalty kill. Not a great penalty kill for Carolina. But,
No.
they're 40-17-6, 86 points. Pretty far ahead at first place in the division in the Metropolitan Division. Columbus. Columbus is the team to watch, folks, in the Eastern Conference. They went 3-0-1 this week. They beat the Rangers in overtime. However, they really tried to lose this game.
Yeah.
They beat them in overtime 5-4. Marchenko 2 goals and an assist, including the overtime game winner. Fantilli a goal and assist. Coyle and Severson both had 2 assists. Merzlikins 29-33. Columbus was up 4-0 in this game, and they let the Rangers come back and tie it. They did pull it off in overtime, but that's a heart attack of a game if you're a Columbus fan.
Yeah.
Beat Nashville 3-2. Coyle, Fantilli, Monahan had the goals. Jet Greaves 21-23. Beat Florida 4-2. Provorov, I think that might be the first time we mentioned Provorov this season, had a goal and 2 assists in this game. Which, you know what, for a defensive defenseman, it's not the biggest deal in the world, right? Defensive defensemen, if you're not talking about them, that means they're probably doing their job. But he happened to have a goal and 2 assists in this game as well. So, Olivier had 2 goals in this game. Jet Greaves, 26-28. And then they lost to Utah in overtime, 5-4. Shout out to my sister-in-law, who I believe was at this game, in like a luxury box in Columbus. She was sending me like texts from like pictures from it. I don't know how she got in this box. She works for like the government of Columbus or whatever, so that's probably how. Man, did it look nice. It was like catered and everything. Ooh. Lost 5-4 in overtime to Utah though. 5 different players had 2 points for Columbus, while Merzlikins was 18 of 23. Marchenko is your top player. 2 goals, 5 assists on the week for Columbus. They were 2 for 9 on the power play, 7 for 9 on the penalty kill, with 2 shorthanded goals for 32, 21, and 9. 73 points, 4th in the division. They're fighting for that. They're fighting for a playoff spot right now. And
They're coming for it.
They're on fire the last few weeks of the season. Hey, the Devils, they went 3-1 this week. Their playoff hopes are shaky at best, but they did go 3-1 this week. They beat Florida 5-1, outshot them 33-22. Dougie Hamilton, goal and an assist. Brown and Hughes both had 2 assists. That's Jack Hughes. While Markstrom was 20 of 21. I think Luke Hughes is done for this season, potentially. I can't remember what his injury status is.
I thought Luke Hughes played some games.
Maybe he did. I'll check that in a second. They beat Florida again 4-3 in a shootout. Gritsuk had a goal and an assist, while Hischier had 2 assists. Markstrom, 24 of 27. Cotter and Brott scored in the shootout. Wow, I just wrote that they played Florida 3 times this week, which is not correct. Apparently, I'm going crazy when I was doing my notes. Give me 1 second.
Luke Hughes had 2 points this week.
Oh, okay, great. He's back. Oh, fantastic. That's great for him. I'm so sorry. I don't know why I wrote that they just played Florida 3 times in a row. So they played Florida in that first game, won 5-1. They beat Toronto 4-3 in a shootout. I don't know what I was smoking when I was writing my notes. And then they beat the Devils 6-3. Or I'm sorry, they beat the Rangers 6-3. Oh, Jack Hughes had a hat trick and an assist in this game, while Jesper Bratt had a goal and 2 assists. Brown and Kovacevic had 2 assists, and Markstrom was 17 of 20. And then they lost to Detroit 3-0, just straight. Markstrom 27 of 30 in that game. Jack Hughes, top player, 3 goals, 3 assists. 3 for 10 on the power play, 13 for 15 on the penalty kill. They are 32, 30, and 2, 66 points, 7th place in the division.
Yeah.
The Islanders went 1-2 this week. They had an off week for them because they've been playing pretty well this year. They are on the West Coast. They lost to Anaheim 5-1. Outshot Anaheim, I know you said this, 43-26. Anders Lee had the only goal in that game, while Rittich was 21 of 25. Lost to LA 5-3. JG Pageau had 2 assists. Sorokin 30 of 35. And then they beat San Jose in overtime 2-1. D'Angelo had the regulation goal. Horvat, the overtime game winner. And Sorokin was 30 of 31. No top player for the Islanders. They went 1 for 10 on the power play, 7 for 9 on the penalty kill with a shorthanded goal for 36, 23, and 5. 77 points, 3rd place in the division currently. The Rangers are up next, and they went 1, 1, and 1. They lost to Columbus 5-4 in overtime. Perreault had 2 goals and an assist. Borgen a goal and an assist. Shesterkin 24 of 29. Beat Toronto 6-2. Lafreniere and Zibanejad a goal and 2 assists. Cooley 2 goals himself. Shesterkin 30 of 32. And then lost to the Devils 6-3. Got outshot 35-20. Cooley, Borgen, and Gavrikov had the goals in that game, while Quick was 29 of 34. Will Cooley is their top player. 3 goals and an assist. 1 for 7 on the power play. Clay, 1 for 5 on the penalty kill.
Ooh.
1 for 5.
Ooh, that bad.
That's your worst of the season. It has to be.
Yeah, it is.
20%.
That's
1 for 5. Holy shit, Rangers. What the fuck? What a bad week that is on your penalty kill. 24, 30, and 8 are the Rangers. 56 points, 8th place in the division. And, you know, they sent out that letter to their fans that they quit on the season a while ago.
Yeah. Also, whoa, we forgot. Chris Jury commented on this about, like...
Did he?
Yeah, he's. Oh, keep talking. I'm gonna find the Chris Drury
Okay,
quote.
yeah, you look at that.
Be-
I'll do the Flyers real quick. Flyers had a good week. They went 2-1. They beat Toronto in a shootout 3-2. Noah Cates had a goal and an assist. Vladar 29 of 31. Mishkov and Zagras scored in the shootout. Lost to Utah 3-0. Vladar 20 of 22. Beat the Penguins in a shootout 4-3. Bump, Barkey, and Tippett had the regulation goals, while Vladar is 20 of 23, and I guess I didn't write down their shootout goals. I know Zagras scored in the shootout. I don't know if anybody else did
yeah.
in that game. No top player for them, though, because it was kind of spread out. Love the dude whose last name is Bump, though. His last name is just Bump.
Oh,
1 for 8 on the power play, 8 for 11 on the penalty kill. 29, 22, and 11 are the Flyers. 69 points, 5th place in the division. Not out of it yet, but they're in trouble. Do you find it, or you still need time?
I found it. All right. This is kind of talking about the Trocheck,
Mm-hmm.
like the lack of selling on Trocheck.
Yeah.
Chris Drury quote: "It didn't make sense to do something just to say we did it, or to do something just because we wrote a letter.
Oh my God! Shut up.
Then why write the letter?
Then why'd
Then
you
why
send
write
the
the
letter out? Oh my God. Like, I mean, they did do significant trades. They traded Panarin, right? That's a significant trade. But, like, you could have gotten
Ugh.
more for Trocheck from
Like,
more than the Panarin trade.
like you could have gotten a first. Like, if you were so hardline on a first roster player and a legit prospect, like if you give up something, like you get the first and a roster player, you might have gotten
Yeah,
like
that
gotten rid of
Minnesota
Trocheck.
trade might have happened, right?
Like,
Yeah.
basically saying it's like, look, we're not going to rebuild just because we're saying to rebuild.
I mean, like, I
That's
get it.
basically what that quote was.
It's such an annoying thing to say because you sent out the letter. I'm sure you had a hand in writing that letter.
You sent out then why you send out a letter? God,
So, like, I think
if
it's.
if it wasn't for Hellebuck, these two idiots in Gearing and Drury
Oh, yeah.
get
Yeah.
fired.
No, I don't think Garen's getting fired just because, like,
No.
Minnesota's where they're at right now, right? And that's from shit that he's doing. I think Garen's doing a good job, whether he be an asshole or not. He's still doing a good job
I
with
think he's doing
Minnesota.
a fine job. Yeah, we'll see.
I mean, he didn't bring in
We'll see.
Kaprizov, right? But
Right.
he did bring in Quinn Hughes. He facilitated that
He
trade.
did.
So you got to give him credit for that. Drury, I don't think Drury's not doing a good job. Like,
No.
he's been the GM.
We were cutting him. We were cutting him slack last year.
He's been the GM for what, like
That's like
5 years or something at this point.
Yeah, or whenever Tom Wilson fought. Whenever Tom Wilson
That
threw
was,
Panarin around.
I mean, that was slightly after COVID, I think, right?
Yeah.
It was 3 or 4 years ago at this point. So let's say 4 years.
We talked about how that incident made the Rangers worse and
Yeah, it kind of broke them.
and the Canadians better.
True. Oh, right. That's right. Because Jeff Gordon got fired. Gordon went to the Canadians.
Montreal.
And now the Canadians are where they're at.
And hired Ken Hughes.
Ken Hughes. Yeah. Yeah, Drury. We were talking about this off episode because you sent me a video of like a pretty terrible take from a Flyers, I don't know, guy. I don't know if he has a podcast or whatever. Shout out to that guy. No hate to that guy, but like little hate to that guy.
I think it was the Snow the Goalie podcast or something
like that.
Oh, was
it? Okay. Look, I'm not trying to start beef with that dude, but like he was like, why aren't they just tanking? It's like, but like tanking doesn't work 100% of the time. Tanking works like 10% of the time.
Tanking is easy.
Tanking's easy. Hard. You could just be like, no, we're bad, right? And you just trade off all of your players. You're just like, oh, shrug, we're bad. But then, like,
Tanking is very easy. Rebuilding is not.
rebuilding is not easy. So, like, even if you get gifted a generational player, like, let's use Edmonton as a example, right? Edmonton
Which
basically,
time?
yeah,
With
it's all the
first
same time.
overalls.
It's all the
Yeah.
same time because they tanked for like 10 years or something like that. They were terrible
Yeah.
forever, and they had multiple first round picks, including Taylor Hall, Ryan Nugent Hopkins, Nail Yakupov's a bad one.
Adam Larson.
I don't think he was number one overall. No. They
Oh, he was the
traded
first
they traded Larson for Hall. Or
one for one.
they
Got it.
traded Hall for Larson, I should say.
Yes.
But finally, you got Connor McDavid, who's probably one of the best players of all time, right? I'm sure he will end there,
Mhm.
points wise, or whatever metric you want. But you haven't won shit with him. You've come close 2 years in a row, but you have not won.
Right.
And that is
You
because
have not
your
won.
management has done a bad job surrounding him with talent. Because yes, you have Leon Draisaitl. Yes, you have Evan Bouchard. Yes, you have Ryan Nugent Hopkins still. That's
You
fucking
have
it.
Nugent Hopkins.
That's what you
have
got.
Zach
Zach Hyman. I
Hyman.
always forget about
It's-
Zach Hyman.
yeah.
Zach Hyman's very good too. But like past those guys, past your top two lines, right? Say McDavid, Hyman are on one line, Draisaitl and question mark are the second line. You got fucking nothing past that. And then your
Yeah.
defense is Evan Bouchard, who's very bad at offense, or I'm sorry, very bad at defense itself, good at offense. And then Ekholm, who's old, and then Darnell Nurse, who is on an inflated, terrible contract, and then nothing else, right? And then
Wallman,
no goalies.
Wallman it goes like whatever, and then your goalie dies by your defense.
Yeah,
Doesn't matter what goalie you bring in.
true.
Like,
And it's just like you look at teams that have tanked in the past, and the only one that has a Stanley Cup to show for it, you were the one that pointed this out to me, Clay, is Colorado. They're the
it's
only
the only
team
one I can think of.
that did it, that tanked for 2 years, I think, were historically bad 1 year, got Nathan McKinnon, and have just been gangbusters since then. Because they've
Yeah.
added, they have managed it
But
correctly, they have a
even
Stanley
that
Cup.
took time.
It took time, but
took time.
they have a cup that they won, 3 or 4 years ago at this point. They're on track to being the favorite to win the Stanley Cup this year. Their team looks like a juggernaut. Like, I don't know who's going to
Yeah.
fucking beat that team.
Like,
But
there's also teams
Good.
that became good, and it's just like you didn't tank, you were just bad. Like,
You're just
being
bad, you
intentionally
lucked
bad
out. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a thing
like,
of the past
when-
because of
when
Edmonton.
Crosby
Yeah.
when Crosby and Ovechkin came into the league, Pittsburgh wasn't trying to be bad.
Not
They
anymore.
were
No.
bad.
They just were bad.
Same with Ovechkin. Like, they weren't trying to be bad. They went out for, like, Washington went out for Yager. They traded
yeah,
for
from
Yager.
Pittsburgh.
Right, exactly. Like, they were trying to be good. It didn't work.
Yes. So, I mean, I know those accusations of like Pittsburgh tanked for Crosby. It's just like maybe, but they also won the draft lottery, so they lucked out. I
No,
don't think they were the last
they-
place team that year.
They didn't tank for Crosby. They were bad because they were poor. They ran
Yeah,
out of
that's
money
true.
and had to sell their
Yeah,
assets.
yeah, that's true.
Which
Well,
the
that
cap
was
fixes.
not
The cap era
necessarily
fixes.
that season, but that was leading up to that season. You're correct. And then like
Which is why the Capitals ended up with Yager. Like,
yes, that was kind of like everything leading up to getting Crosby was in 2000, 2001, somewhere in there is when Yager got traded to the Capitals. Then the Penguins were awful for
Yeah.
3 or 4 years, but they got Fleury, they got Malkin, they got Crosby, they got Jordan Stahl, they got Chris Letang.
they made
in like
good picks and
they
they
made
built
good
around the
picks
draft.
that they developed or were those guys were just already ready. They built around them. They set teams up. The Penguins won in 2009. They won in 2016. They won in 2017.
Like, they brought in you you know, 1,500 games played. Matt Cullen, 3-time
Yes.
Stanley Cup
Yes,
winner.
that's actually that's true. That was in
Chris,
2016, 2017. They brought in Matt Cullen. They brought in
like
Bill Guerin in the
Chris
2009 Stanley Cup win.
Chris Kunitz,
Chris Kunitz, Pascal Dupuis. They have all of these unsung heroes that they brought in for those teams. That's good management. What the fuck
Yeah.
has Edmonton done? What the fuck do you think that who were we talking about? The Rangers. I don't even I didn't even remember who the fuck we were talking about. We were just on this diatribe. Who do you think? Do you really trust Chris Drury to remake this team? No.
No.
He has been at the helm for enough time at this point to be like, definitely he is not developing players correctly because look at Lafreniere, who has just had one good year and has been terrible since then.
Kakko, Hedl.
Kakko, Hedl. They just
Cooley.
traded off Brennan Othman, who was a high draft pick that has just done nothing. And so they just traded him off.
But also Laviolette doesn't like to give
Laviolette's
like
Sullivan is the coach now, but Laviolette
right,
before that.
Laviolette right. Before that, like
you know what, Sullivan doesn't like to give young guys a chance either. That was a big problem in Pittsburgh. In Pittsburgh.
And Washington blew a 3-0 lead.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay. We're not talking about tonight's games. Okay, well let's get off this. I don't think Chris Drury is the man to rebuild the Rangers.
2 shorthanded goals against.
Oof, barf. I'm sorry.
I know we're not talking about tonight games, but
all right, let's talk. Hey, this will make you feel better. The Penguins went 1-2-1 this week. They had a bad week.
Come
on,
you could have won.
Come on.
You could have won.
I know we could have won. You don't think I didn't want this team to win? Anyway, they went 1-2-1 this week. Lost to Boston 2-1. Carlson had the only goal in that game for the Penguins. Skinner 26 of 28. Lost to Buffalo 5-1. Brian Russ, had the only goal in that game, which was a shorthanded goal. Shelov's 21 of 25. Lost to Philadelphia 4-3 in a shootout in a really annoying game because Pittsburgh kept taking the lead and then within 3 minutes giving up the lead to Philadelphia to tie the game. Raquel, a goal and an assist in this game. Chinakhov, 2 assists. Skinner, 12 of 15. But then, hey, they got the win that they needed to make this week bearable by beating Boston in overtime 5-4, coming back from being down 3-0 in this game. Mantha, 2 goals. Novak, the overtime game winner, and an assist. And Erik Karlsson, 2 assists. Shelov's 24 of 28 for the win. Erik Karlsson is your top player of the week, 2 goals, 2 assists. They went 2 for 13 on the power play with 2 shorthanded goals against. 9 for 11 on the penalty.
Buffalo.
Were they both against? Oh, they were both against Buffalo. 9 for 11. Go ahead.
That game had 3 shorthanded goals.
Yeah, 2 for Buffalo, 1 for Pittsburgh. Oh, barf, annoying. 9 for 11 on the penalty kill with a shorthanded goal. 4. Pittsburgh is 32, 17, and 14. 78 points, second place in the division, and they just got to make it to the playoffs because there's no shootouts in the playoffs.
Nope.
That's all they got to get to. And I will say, halfway through this week,
think the record. I don't think the record of the overtime losses gets broken.
No, I don't know. Pittsburgh's got.
Man. There's 3 teams with 14
left.
overtime losses.
Yeah, Pittsburgh, LA, Vegas, right?
Yes.
There's 20-plus games left for those 3 teams. Maybe it could happen. Unlikely, I feel like, but it could happen. It could happen.
4, 5 overtime losses by each of these 3 teams.
In 20 games?
Yeah, I don't know. It's possible, but I don't know.
It's possible. It's possible. It's possible.
Now that Hiller's gone for LA, I don't know for LA.
Yeah, they'll just lose in regulation.
Exactly.
Pittsburgh is real good at just pushing it to overtime and just losing it overtime, though.
That is true.
That's one of the reasons they're afloat at the moment. It's second place in the division. All right. Washington's last team in the Metro did go 0-2 this week, losing to Utah 3-2. Leonard and Dubois had the goals in that game, while Thompson was 20-23, and then losing to Boston 3-1. Protas had the only goal. Thompson 26 of 28. No top player. 2 for 5 on the power play, 5 for 8 on the penalty kill. Washington is 31, 26, and 7, 69 points, 6th place in the division.
Remember how I said last week that they needed to go like 14-3-3 to make the playoffs?
Yes, you did say that. Yeah. Yeah, you did say that. Or was that them or Philadelphia we were saying? Either way, very unlikely. Both. Yeah, I think it was both. Yeah. Yeah.
Because they're tied in points, but Philadelphia has 2 games in hand on Washington.
Yeah, not. It's a bleak outlook for both teams currently.
Oof.
Oofty goofty.
All right. We're going to finish off with the Atlantic. We're going to start with Boston, who went 2-2 this week. They beat Pittsburgh 2-1, like you've talked about. Korpisalo at .971 percentage in net. Then they lose to Nashville 3-6. McAvoy a goal and assist. Korpisalo in net there. They beat Washington 3-1. Swayman a .957 save percentage. And then the 4-5 overtime loss against Korpisalo, where they blew a 3-0 lead. They blew a 3-0 lead.
Yeah, to Pittsburgh.
Yep. Pavel Zacha had a hat trick.
He did. That's true. I turned this game off because Pittsburgh was down 3-0, and I was like, I don't want to watch them get destroyed.
There was a better one on.
There was a better one on. That is true.
They were 3 for 16 on the power play this week.
Yikes!
With a shorthanded goal against. And then 12 for 14 on the penalty kill. Pavel Zacha is their top player with 4 goals and 3 assists in those 4 games. They are 35, 22, and 6. That is 76 points. That is your wild card 2.
Yes, it is.
Oh, which you didn't I don't know if you mentioned, Columbus is only 3 points back from the Islanders for 3rd place in the division.
As of today.
Oh, yes, as of today. I forgot Columbus played.
Yes, Columbus. That's what's. We're recording this episode a little late in the day on Monday, so one game has already ended, and that was Columbus and LA, which is why we're getting a little confused when we're talking about the standings at the moment.
All right. Never mind.
But the only difference is they're 4 points back as of what we're talking about currently.
So
instead of 3 points back. But yes, they are quite close.
Has in common with Colorado?
What's that?
Buffalo also went 4-0 this week.
Hell yeah, they did. Let's go Sabres.
Buffalo beats Vegas 3-2. Dahlin to assist in this game. Lyon in net with a .93 save percentage. They beat Pittsburgh 5-1. Owen Power a goal and assist. Gave up a shorthanded goal, like we said, but got 2 of their own. Literally, the first 2 goals were both short in this game.
Yes, they were both shorthanded.
1 for Pittsburgh and for Buffalo, both shorthanded. And then they beat Nashville 3-2. My friend at this game, Nashville fan at this game, got a picture with UC Saros.
That's awesome.
Am I thinking of the right one? Roman Yossi. Got a picture with Roman Yossi.
That's equally as awesome.
Yes. And then they beat Tampa Bay in one of the best
of the year
of the season. Only competing with Boston and Tampa Bay for the Stadium Series. Like, that's the only 2 games that are close.
Dude, this one had everything. The only thing that this game is missing is a goalie fight or a goalie goal. That's the only thing that's missing from this game.
That goalie fight could have happened.
Oh, I saw Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen in one of the scrums. I was like, oh, here we go. We're getting a goalie fight. Yep. We're getting a goalie fight.
And then he backed right off when everyone else jumped on. All right. They beat Tampa Bay 8-7 in
Ugh,
regulation.
dude, it was a hell of a game. If you didn't see it, oh, you missed out. That was good lord.
Go find it. Go find the replay.
You
Top
gotta
to
watch it.
bottom is
Yeah.
excellent.
It starts with a brawl,
Because
it ends with a brawl. There's 15 goals in the game. So many
which
fights.
top 15 goals in the game, which ties Montreal or which ties Calgary with their top goal scorer for the season. Um,
Calgary just catching strays out here for no reason.
Catching absolute strays. Um, Buffalo, Luukkonen in net this entire game, so he only had a 7.86 save percentage.
I mean, that's fine. Look, man, they won.
In
Who
this
cares?
in this game, Buffalo was 4-for-7 on the power play
Oh my god.
and 1-for-2 on the penalty kill with a shorthanded goal 4. Buffalo now leads the league in shorthanded goals with 10.
Good lord.
Josh Doan, 2 goals in this game. He got the first goal for Buffalo and he got the last goal for Buffalo.
Yeah, you got the winner.
Shots. Buffalo outshot Tampa Bay 42-28.
Oh yeah, that's right, they did. Dude,
Minutes.
I'll be totally honest with you, but let's just go through it really quick. Buffalo did go up like what 4-1 in this game,
4-1.
and then they blew that lead,
period.
and then
Blew the lead.
Tampa Bay went up 6-4 or something like that.
Yes.
Buffalo roared back. It was 6-5.
7. Yeah, 7-5.
It was then 7-5. Buffalo tied the fucking game, scored with what, a minute and a half, 2 minutes left to make it 8-7
on the power play.
On the power play.
Power play was a tying goal, I believe.
Power play was no. Power play was the winning goal. There was a tying goal, and then Josh Doan scored on the power play to win the game.
Mm-hmm.
And there was 3 line brawls, 4 line brawls,
4 line brawls. Penalty minutes were 45-57. Over 100 minutes of penalties.
Love it.
Dahlin got jumped 3 times.
Yeah. Brandon Hagel just out here throwing fists at whoever came near him.
Well, again, Dahlin checked Hagel next to the net. In the third period, in the second period, brawls have already happened. Brawls have already happened.
I will say the third period.
Hagel tried to fight. Hagel tried to fight Dahlin. Dahlin didn't want any part of it. Hagel did not let go and started throwing punches at the back of his head. And this is when Luukkonen came out of the net because he was the only one, because the play was continuing.
He was the only one.
Yeah. Peyton Krebs, I don't think has ever won a fight yet.
Still didn't today, but he got dabbed up by his teammates for getting into a fight.
Michael Carrick fought Saborn. Michael Carrick fought Saborn, and brand new to the team gets dapped up in the hard high fives by.
There was multiple instances
and Krebs,
where there was 4 to 5 guys in the penalty box for each team. Multiple times in this game.
Everyone's pumped. Oh my god, the vibes in Buffalo are immaculate. And it was a full crowd because they're in the playoff spot right now.
I'd be so psyched if I was at this game.
Electric.
If me and you were at this game, I would have looked at you after the first period and be like, "Let's get hammered. This game is going to explode."
At a certain point, I don't know where in all the fights this was, because I was watching the the New York State one, the one that shows a lot of the Rangers games. I can't think of that channel.
Yeah.
Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, it's just MSG. Yeah, it's just the MSG
channel.
Yeah, the MSG
channel. It was on the MSG channel, and they were going in back and forth between the Tampa Bay box full of players and the Buffalo box full of players and the boos then cheers, the boos and cheers, just going back and forth with that.
Yeah.
Like they were just all having it was just all everyone was having fun in Buffalo, which was crazy. And then they blew the 4-1 lead.
Yeah, pretty
And
depressing, honestly.
that was
I was watching the
all
game. I was just like, "Fuck!"
that was
They blew
all
this
before
lead,
that was all before they blew the 4-1 lead.
and then they came all the way back to win
And
the game. Holy
Old
shit!
Buffalo teams would have rolled over and died.
Yeah,
Because
absolutely.
we've seen that before. Last year they were
Not
up
this
4-0
team.
against Colorado.
Not this team, baby.
But
Not these boys. Not my boys.
honestly, with the way, like, I don't mean to like be a super big homer right now. With the way this team is
Granted,
playing,
this is Clay's second team. I would like to point out to everybody.
yes,
You know what?
I
It's
don't-
my second team too. I want Buffalo to succeed.
I don't know with the way again with their current record right now and the way they've been playing. I don't know what team in the East beats them.
With how they're playing right now, I don't know. No one's playing like that in the East at the moment.
I don't know what
The
team
only
in the East beats them
I don't even think Carolina could beat them.
because exactly
Not
Buffalo
with-
has both
not
the
unless
size
they-
and the speed.
Yeah, not
I don't
unless
trust
Buffalo
Carolina.
kind of trips up going into
Like-
the playoffs, but they don't look like they're gonna.
Right now Buffalo is playing Montreal in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Buffalo's bigger and meaner than this team, and they have the same amount of speed.
Dude, if they make, oh my God, the East
Which-
is
which-
wide open right now too. There's
Which
no
is
like
crazy because
favorite team in the East.
I like this Montreal team.
Yeah.
I really like this Montreal team. I think they can do good things, but
Sometimes it comes down to whoever's the hottest going into the playoffs. Though, so to be fair, we have 20 more games, give or take, until
Right.
the playoffs, right? So Buffalo could lose some of that fire, but they also could not. You know what I mean?
right.
They could also just be on fire going into the playoffs. So they could steamroll everybody because we've seen that happen
Buffalo is
before.
Buffalo is acting like the 2019 St. Louis Blues.
Yeah,
That's who
That
they
were
are
just
acting like right now.
came into the playoffs with all the momentum and just rode it to the Stanley Cup.
Well, also they were last place in the division at
Mhm.
the beginning of December. They fire this time as a GM instead of the coach, and then they roar. Like
Well, hey, this is the 2016 Penguins, right? They were 10th place in the conference, something like that. Fired their coach, brought in Sullivan. They steamrolled the playoffs. Well, not the
Absolutely.
Capitals series. I won't call that a
that's
steamroll.
different,
But
yeah.
everybody else, they
Um,
steamrolled and won the cup, right? That could be the path that Buffalo's on. That's not a path that's impossible to walk,
and then
right?
they just brought in Shen and Stanley
Uh-huh.
to get
They brought even more
bigger and
bulk.
meaner.
Yeah, they brought even more size into the team. They brought a defensive-minded center in with Sam Carrick. That you texted me this last night after they won the game. This team fucks.
right. Absolutely.
And until they fail,
this is crazy.
this team fucks. This is the team in the East right now. They're on fire. They look like the best team in the East. They're acting like the best team in the East. They got the swag of the best team in the East. Which is crazy because it's the Sabres.
Exactly.
Because in November,
we-
this team was bottom of the division. Even me and you were like, "Fuck!" We thought they were going to be better this year. They're this, they're that, they're underperforming.
Yeah, the underlying metrics showed that they were a good team, but
Yes,
then
but they
it
just
all
weren't
came
winning,
together.
right? The underlying metrics can show whatever they want. If you don't win, you don't win. But then something clicked in December. Something clicked, and they
it
were off to the
was-
races since then.
It was, and they've said this, both Josh Doan, Zach Benson, and Jason Zucker. Because
Yeah.
Zucker they have said that he's been like a coach, a player coach. And Benson and Doan said, "I don't care about this woe is me bullcrap. Like, I don't care about the past and how these
Yeah.
seems to keep happening." And this is a 23-year-old kid saying this.
Hey, man. Sometimes the best leaders aren't like the old grizzled dude. Sometimes they're just
No.
like the guy that knows what to say, right? The guy,
Yeah.
he could be 23, he could be 40. If he knows what to say, he knows what to say.
Does not matter.
If he's just like, fuck the past, we're doing this. Doesn't
Right.
matter how old he is. He could be 18.
Uh,
He could come into that room and be like, man, fuck all that the last 5 years. Don't even worry about that. We're fucking right now.
Talking about advanced stats and underlying numbers, the Ottawa Senators have some of the best advanced stats in the league. They would, but they have the worst goaltending.
Yeah. Allmark and
They
who's it?
Miralainen
Miralainen, yeah, have really let them down this year, unfortunately.
are 89th and 91st,
91st.
89th and 91st out of 92 goalies.
Yeah, that's bad. That's bad.
If
91st.
if they could, if they had average goaltending, they'd be a guaranteed playoff team. But that's just not how it's working for them.
That's just not how it's going. Well, there's years before, right? That just I know I always bring it back to the Penguins, right? But 2 years ago when the Penguins' power play was awful, but like the
Right.
rest of the team was generally good, but just that power play just could not score. It was bottom
Yep.
5 of the league, and it was one of those things. It's just like if that power play was average, they would make the playoffs.
Yeah,
Probably.
absolutely.
It's just
I
Ottawa's
think it was
that
2
team
years
this
ago.
or 2 years ago, yeah. Ottawa's that team this year. It's just like everything else is fine. If their goaltending was average, they'd be in the playoffs.
Everything else is great.
Yeah,
If their goaltending is
they'd be in the
average, they make
playoffs.
the play.
They have the 91st and what'd you say, 89th
89th
worst goaltenders in the league right now. You
for
can't overcome
saves,
that.
for expected saves.
You just can't overcome something that bad, that weak of a link, right? I think we've said this before on the show, right? You can have a good offense and good goaltending and make the playoffs. You can have a good defense and good goaltending and make the playoffs. It's really hard if you don't have good goaltending to get anywhere.
To make them, yeah.
Because if the other two are good and the goaltending is bad, that's the linchpin, right?
Yep.
If those guys back there are just letting in the softest of goals, not only does that hurt you on the scoreboard, obviously, but that hurts the morale of the team just in general. It's just like I can't trust this dude behind me, so
It's the problem with Markstrom for years. He lets in the first shot.
Yeah.
For both New Jersey and for Calgary. He let in the first shot and then locked in. But you're playing a goal down.
But you're playing a goal
to
down.
start the game.
Yep.
Okay. Let's
we
finish
gotta
with
keep
Buffalo.
going.
Let's
Yeah, we
finish
gotta
with
keep going.
this episode.
Yeah, fuck all the
5
rest of
for
the team.
16.
Let's just talk about
5
Buffalo
for
more.
16 on the power play this week. Shorthanded goal against. 9 for 11 on the penalty kill this week with 3 shorthanded goals for. So their top players are Tage Thompson and Rasmus Dahlin. Thompson had 2 goals and 5 assists. Dahlin had a goal and 5 assists. Dahlin had a Gordie Howe hat trick in this game against Tampa Bay. Also, Josh Doan missed the empty net for a hat trick by like inches in this game.
Yeah. Was it this game that there were 3 Gordie Howe hat tricks in it? Just in general?
Hagel, Dahlin, Hagel, and
I think there's another one for Tampa Bay. Carrick, maybe? Or
Carrick,
that's Buffalo, but
assist.
I think there were 3 Gordie Howe hat tricks in it. I think that was the first time that ever happened.
It's crazy. Buffalo is 39, 19, and 6. They are 84 points. They are first in the division.
Whoo, yes, sir. Let's go.
I will say Tampa Bay is only 2 points back, and they have 2 games in hand.
Yeah,
But
that's also true. But hey,
Buffalo does play.
let's enjoy the moment though.
Buffalo plays them one more time.
It's a big game. It's a huge game.
The reason this game was the way it was is Buffalo last week kicked the crap out of Tampa, beat them 6-1. So Tampa had to come back and make a statement, and Buffalo just didn't shy away from it, which is playoff hockey. Damn it!
Yes, it is. I'm telling you, I need this series in the second round, wherever it is. I need that playoff series. Put it right in my veins.
Oh my god, it's amazing. All right, Detroit. Detroit went 2-1-1. They beat Nashville 4-2. Gibson started this game. He got hurt. Left. Talbot finished. Then they lose to Vegas in overtime 3-4. DeBrincat a goal and assist. Then they lose to Florida 3-1. Gibson back in net, played this entire game, and then they beat the New Jersey Devils 3-0. Gibson and Talbot combined for the shutout, first time since 2019. Mo Seider, a goal and 2 assists. They were 2 for 15 on the power play this week, 7 for 10 on the penalty kill with a shorthanded goal 4. Alex DeBrincat is their top player with 3 goals and 2 assists. Detroit is 36, 21, and 7, 79 points. That is third in the division. Unfortunately, team behind them is just 1 point back and 2 games in hand as well. But not this team, the Florida Panthers. Florida went 1-2 this week. They went 1-5 on the one. They beat the Devils 1-5. Then they lose. Sorry, they lose to the Devils 5-1. Then they lose to Columbus 4-2. And they beat Detroit 3-1. Matthew Tkachuk did have a hat trick in this game. They were 2 for 9 on the power play this week, 7 for 9 on the penalty kill this week. They don't have a top player. They are 31, 29, and 3, 65 points, 7th in the division. Montreal went 1-1-1 this week. They lose to San Jose 5-7. Alex Newhook, 2 goals in this game. They lose to Anaheim 5-6 in the shootout. Cole Caulfield, 2 goals and an assist. Then they beat LA 4-3. Suzuki, a goal and 2 assists. Slavkovsky, 2 goals and 1 assist. They were 4 for 10 on the power play this week, 6 for 9 on the penalty kill this week. Suzuki and Slavkovsky are their co-top players. Both of them had 2 goals and 4 assists. They are 34, 18, and 10, 78 points, 4th in the division. Wild card 1 point behind Detroit, 2 games in hand. It's a battle for third.
Yeah, it's that fight for that third place. Yeah.
Moving on to Ottawa. Ottawa, talked about them kind of already. They went 2-0-1 this week. They beat Edmonton 5-4 5-4 overtime loss. I marked it as a win.
It's okay. I said the Devils played Florida 3 times this week, so.
And then you said the Devils played the Devils.
Yep. Yeah, I did.
Drake Batherson. Drake Batherson had 2 goals in this game. They beat Calgary 4-1. All marking net for all 3. And then they beat Seattle 7-4. Shane Pinto, a goal and 2 assists. They were 2 for 9 on the power play this week, 8 for 11 on the penalty kill this week with a shorthanded goal 4. Amadio, Batherson, Pinto, and Stützle all had 2 goals and 2 assists.
Oh, okay. Good for, wow, damn. Spread out.
Very much spread out. They are 31, 22, and 9, 71 points. That's 6th in the division.
Yep.
Tampa Bay, 1-3 this week. Since coming back from the Olympics, they are 2-5.
Yeah, they're having a real poor.
Their only 2 wins are against Toronto twice. That's it.
Jesus.
1 for 3. They lose to Minnesota 5-1. They lose to Winnipeg 4-1. Vasilevsky in net for both of these games. Then they beat Toronto 5-2. Kucherov with 4 assists. And then they lose to Buffalo 7-8. Kucherov 2 goals and 1 assist. They were 3 for 11 on the power play this week. 12 for 17 on the penalty kill this week, and then they had 90 penalty minutes.
12 for 17. Good lord. I mean, 4 of those were against
17.
Buffalo, but still.
Yeah. 90 penalty minutes in those 4 games.
Jeez.
Kucherov is their top player with 3 goals and 5 assists. He is the 3rd player to hit 100 points this season, and then this is his 6th time doing it.
McKinnon and McDavid, right? The other 2.
They are 39 and 19 and 4, 82 points, 2nd in the division. And we're going to finish off with Toronto.
Oh, Toronto.
A team that looks like they do not care.
They don't. I don't think they do.
They don't.
Yeah. Do you think Matthews gets traded in the offseason? I feel like he might. Man. I feel like he might.
I don't know.
We'll see.
Good. They lose to Philadelphia in a shootout 3-2. They lose to the Devils in a shootout 3-4. Pretty sure you said this, but they were outshot 47-27. They lose to the Rangers 2-6, and then they lose to the Lightning 2-5. 2 for 10 on the power play, 9 for 12 on the penalty kill. They don't have a top player. They're 27, 26, and 11, 65 points, 8th in the division. I mean, they're tied for Florida, but Florida has
a game in hand. And more wins.
Yep, we're gonna talk about the standings or like the wild card real quick. There's only 3 teams in the Eastern Conference, 3 teams in the Atlantic that are above. 3 teams that are below 0 in the goal differential.
Oh shit.
The Red Wings, the Panthers, and the Leafs.
The Red Wings being one of them is so funny that they're in 3rd place. I mean, they're only -1, but still.
Place. But on top of that, there's only 2 teams in the positive in the goal differential in the Pacific, and that is Vegas and Edmonton.
Oh my God, not even Anaheim. Jesus Christ.
Not even Anaheim.
I guess Anaheim, when they lose big. All right.
Lose big.
Let's go through these Eastern standings again. I mean, we mentioned where everybody was in the standings, but let's go through them real quick. Buffalo, Tampa, Detroit are your top 3 in the Atlantic Division. That's 84, 82, and 79 points, respectively, between the 2 teams. Tampa does have 2 games in hand on both Buffalo and Detroit. For the Metropolitan Division, Carolina is up at the top with 86 points, well ahead of Pittsburgh in 2nd place with 78 points. Islanders, 77 points. Carolina and Pittsburgh both have a game in hand on the Islanders. Montreal and Boston have wildcard 1 and wildcard 2, respectively. Montreal has 78 points. Boston has 76 points. Montreal has a game in hand on Boston, which also means, Montreal 1 point behind Detroit, as you just said, with 2 games in hand on Detroit. So Montreal could usurp Detroit for that top 3 spot there pretty easily, and honestly, they could be within 2 points of Buffalo as well.
Yeah.
So let's just keep that all in mind. The first team out is the Columbus Blue Jackets right now with 73 points, 62 games played, have a game in hand. This is not counting the game that already happened.
I realized it. Yeah.
That is game in hand against Boston, 3 points back. They have 2 games in hand on the Islanders, 4 points back on them, so some ground to be made. The Senators are there, 62 games played, 71 points, 5 points out of a playoff spot right now, so that's going to be tougher to overcome. They do have a game in hand on Boston, so that could be only 3 points behind Boston, but they would have to get through Columbus as well. They would have to jump over Columbus or the Islanders or whoever is there in that spot. And then past that, is kind of not even worth mentioning. I feel like
No, I wouldn't.
Philly and Washington both have 69 points, but that's well back of a playoff spot at this point. And then everybody else. I mean,
And Washington has 64 games played.
Washington has 64 games played, which means that 3 of the teams ahead of them, not even counting the wild card teams, have 2 games in hand on them. And then Boston has a game in hand. Montreal has 2 games in hand. Pittsburgh has a game in
not
hand.
looking good.
It's not looking good for Washington. And then Philly sure is 7 points back of a playoff spot, but that's pretty far at this point in the season. Let's quick, since we did it for the Western Conference, let's look at what the 1v8s would be. We would have the same thing. It would be Carolina versus Boston. However, this is where it would change. It would be Buffalo second place still playing the Islanders. The Islanders would drop all the way down to 7th place. Then we would have Tampa Bay and Pittsburgh, which would be quite a serious, and then Detroit and Montreal. So it would change quite a bit in the East. It would shuffle. Yep. It would shuffle around. But boy, that would drop Pittsburgh and the Islanders way down the standings there. Even below Montreal, which is crazy. So, I mean, the 1v8 would be interesting, but I don't think it would drastically change things. But
or like winners,
for winners, maybe. I mean, that would change. The Islanders and Pittsburgh wouldn't be playing each other, so that would mean potentially 2 different teams could advance.
Upsetting.
So, well, 1v8 doesn't even matter because it's not happening. Thank you guys for listening, as always, to our second episode of the week. We can be found wherever podcasts are found. Give us a rate, review, subscribe, wherever applicable. And we will be back next week for hopefully only 1 episode. I guess I don't know what's going to happen in this week. For week 23 of the NHL season at the same puck time.
Same puck place.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.